Here we go. Okay. So,
Video boy.
I've given you guys the template for this already. All I did was put massings here. All you gotta do is, here's your 30 by 40 scaled up to actual size. Place your things on here and then move it over here. Make sure you rotate because these are not at this, they are now, but they weren't at the same angle. So what you're gonna do is, I already have given you this site template, so don't worry about that. All you're gonna do is turn off everything except for your masses, and that needs to be turned off. Okay, so now you're gonna select your masses and you're gonna export them wherever, save it as whatever file. Make sure you save it as a acis.sat and then save it. And this option comes up, the export option. Usually it'll come up as default, so you want to save it as inventor. Don't ask me why. So there's that. And then you want to go into this site template. Then you want to go to model, make sure you go create mass. Go to the Vasari button, import CAD, and then you want to choose your file. I don't remember where I placed it. It's this one. Make sure you put your units to feet or whatever you have your units as on Rhino, and then make sure you place it origin to origin, because then it'll place it directly on the site according to where you have it on Rhino. And then just say open, and there's my objects. Make sure you finish mass, and that's placing that on there. Don't worry about setting location, I already have it set for Tanzania. It's not the same as Rhino, so you have to move this thing to pan and do all this stuff. Now if you want to do a sun study, all you do is go down here to this little thing, and you can turn the path on if you want to see it. You can see it right there. Usually I just turn it off, and then you can turn shadows on, shadows off. But to get the sun, the different shading angles, go to sun settings, and for this one we're gonna do a still shot. And you can start wherever. You can do summer, winter, spring. And then up here are the different times. You want to do 9 in the morning, 12 p.m., and 3 p.m. So all you really have to do is just change the time and then click apply, and you can see the difference. You say OK. And then if you want to export the image, you go to the Vasari button, export image, and you just say, don't worry about that. If you want to get the current view, just go to this part. The change is changing where you save it, so I'm just gonna leave it. Make sure you zoom, because I don't like that part of it. I usually go 300%, and then you can change the file. You can change it to PNG or JPEG, whatever you want, and then change it to 300, and then say OK. And then if I go to my file, it should be right there. And so you're just going to repeat the process for every different time. So again, all you do is change the sun setting, change the time back to 12 and say apply, and then take another picture. If you want to do wind analysis, all you really have to do is go to analyze. I think the energy model is already enabled, so don't worry about that. And then there's these two options up here. You can just go to wind tunnel, and this little thing will come up because of the weather station. Just say use existing, and then it'll probably go to the side, but there's the wind tunnel. You can change all these settings, but I would change the displace, make sure that's unchecked. You can pause it. You can turn like the outline of that stuff off. You can turn back on. You can leave the ground planer if you want it. It doesn't matter. And then make sure you show the windrows, which is that one. And then you can, on the windrows or the wind tunnel, you can't take a screenshot like in here, so you have to do a regular computer screenshot. So you just print screen or whatever you use, and then just cut things out, whatever you don't want to see. And then if you want to change like the direction of wind, just move this thing up here and say play, and it'll change the direction. You can move it in real time, and it'll change the direction. And that stuff goes on. It's pretty cool to mess with.
Maybe taking a picture of just the windrows.
And then, okay, if you want to do windrows, just click windrows. Use existing again, and then I don't know what happened there. There's an option up here in the corner, send windrows to BIM project. Send it. If you want a really big one that takes too much time, go ahead, go for it. That's up to you. If you want the smaller one, that's better. Say okay, and it might kind of freeze, but it'll show up. Give it some time. And there it is, and all you do is go to your top view. Just make sure you rotate this if you want north facing up. But what I like to do, because you can't really see the colors, you just click the mass and drop the floor down a little bit. So like there-ish. And now you can see the colors, and go back to your top view, rotate, and then take another picture. And that's your windrows. Yay!
And if you want your own site, like if you've made changes to not only just your masses but the site.
That's up to you guys.
Are you just doing that?
Yeah, this is all I did.
Okay. I think I'm gonna do.
And you can always delete whenever you have iterations.
So we have to have one for like 9, 12, and 3 o'clock for
Yeah.
all the solstices.
So if you want, like the way I did it, use this one. So the way I did it is I did one, and then like a big one that's like 2 or 3 of them overlaid, 2 of the extremes, and then the smaller ones are just the different times of day. So you have March 21st, June 21st, September, and December. And you do the 3 times, which is up here. And then you just take pictures and then lay them out. And then for the wind, you can do just one of these. Like the extreme, which is from the southeast wind. And then just take a screenshot, and that should be a good one.
Yay, Marcus! Thank you, thank you.